Hey, it's Carly Burr, and welcome back to Taking Life Offline. Before we get into today's episode, I wanted to give a little backstory as to where the idea for this episode came from. So this backstory is about my 2.5-year-old. She is a dancer. We just started her in dance this summer, and she absolutely loves it. She dances her heart out. She goes all in when she is at her dance class, and I just love seeing her show that confidence and have just such a great time with her best friend. As she was dancing about a month ago, she did some sort of big leap or some jump, and her feet just slipped out from under her and she landed directly on her ear. Her ear took the whole brunt of the fall, and it was really sad and really nasty. Everyone in the class is like, oh. And she comes running to me, and I take her out and we have a breather, give her a minute to cry. I'm telling her, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry this happened. Ouch, that's a big ouchie. And we let her feel through all the emotions. And then I said, when you're feeling better, once you've let yourself, feel sad and feel hurt, it's okay. And it's good to get back out there and finish dancing with your class. So when you're feeling ready, let's go back out there and finish the class. And she did, and I was so incredibly proud of her for doing that. Fast forward to the next week, we go to dance, and she kind of has a bit of separation anxiety. So we've been working on leading up to me leaving the room. So I'll tell her ahead of time, I'll say, okay, when I'm gonna leave the room, I will give you a thumbs up. And we show up to class early, and I show her exactly where I will be when I leave the room on the other side of this class so that I can see her and that really I'm not going anywhere. So we do all this prep for me to leave the room, and she's always like, I can't do that. And whenever I say, okay, you're gonna be able to stay in your class today, she goes, I can't do that. I'm like, where did you get that from? But anyway, we get to the class and I give her the thumbs up and I walk out of the room, and she loses it. And she's not the type of kid who will calm down. It just escalates and gets worse and worse and worse. So I go back in knowing that I had just probably destroyed all trust, and that was the case. She would not leave my side for the remainder of the class for the next 3 weeks up until just this last Tuesday. And she's been dancing right next to me, but she will not participate in the class. And I've been trying to get her to go out and have fun again and be confident and go be herself. I've been bribing her, I've been trying all the things, but she just will not leave my side. So I'm getting frustrated. I'm like, okay, this is frustrating. She was having a great time, and then the fall happened. I get that. That was a nasty bruise. That is traumatizing for a cute little 2.5-year-old. But I know she can get out and do it. And I keep reassuring her, I'm not leaving the room. I will be right here. No matter what I tell her, she will not leave my side. So I finally decided I'm not gonna keep bribing her. I'm not gonna try to force her to go out. I'm just gonna sit here, stay in the room, and let her go whenever she's ready. And come to find out, that's exactly what she needed. She needed me to just give her time to do it on her own. And the last 8 minutes of class, she decided she was ready, and she herself, without me saying anything, looked at me and walked out and finished out the rest of the class dancing with all of the girls. I could not force her to do it. I could not bribe her to do it. She had to do it on her own time. Yes, we're still working on me leaving the room, but now I just had to rebuild the trust and get her to get back out there and have a good time. And then we will revisit the me leaving the room part, and I'm sure we'll get there eventually. It's just gonna take time. So at this point, you're probably wondering, how in the world does this relate to you? Well, much like my sweet little 2.5-year-old, no one can force you to leave social media. And maybe you've attempted in the past only to end up back on so you don't trust yourself. Maybe you failed miserably at a social media detox, but if you continue to try again and you continue to get back up when you've been burned, when you have failed in the past, when you're ready above all. But the key here is answering when you feel the call. When you're in the heat of it, to do something about it, to start taking steps. The fact that you're listening here says a lot as well, but lean into your feelings and leap when you feel the urge to jump. It's pretty rare that I'll come across someone who's decided to leave social media on a whim. Typically, it's people who have done their fair share of detoxes, people who have been considering leaving, who have thought about it and maybe have even tried before in the past, but just haven't been able to get the closure with social media that they need. So they find themselves right back where they started. So I'd have to say timing is everything. If you've tried in a moment where you felt like this is it and you failed, guess what? There will be another time. Chances are, if you have felt the urge to leave social media before, you will most likely feel that urge again if you haven't successfully been able to leave thus far. Those feelings probably have not left. You just have to give them the time of day, and you'll likely soon feel that it's time to give it another shot. Now let's talk about what to do when you feel the timing is right in order to set you up for better success this time around. First, determine what type of quitter you are. Meaning, when you feel the timing is right for you to leave, know if you're more like a cold turkey type of person or more of a weaner, someone who needs a weaning process, who needs steps to take each day or each week over a short period of time. I'd say no longer than a month, to slowly get yourself the closure you need to successfully leave. And how do you know which one you might be? Well, if you've tried cold turkey in the past and it hasn't worked, maybe a weaning approach is better for you. Or if it's your first time ever attempting, look at other areas in your life where you've gotten rid of anything or you've shaken an addiction. Reference past experiences in your life. And if you're someone who's going, yeah, I'm gonna need more of a weaning process, but I don't know quite about how to go about doing this, I left a link for you in the description that'll put you on a list to be the first to know about a new opportunity that I'm so excited about, with me being able to do this right alongside you come 2024. You can find the link to more information in the show notes to this episode. Second thing to do when you feel like the timing is right after you've decided which way to approach leaving is to find a support system. Tell someone to hold you accountable and find people who share a common goal or who think similarly to you. My letter, the offline diaries, is where I'm able to connect with you. And pretty soon I'm going to be having an opportunity for you guys to be able to connect with each other. So I'm also excited about that. Third thing is to set a date on the calendar to celebrate you making it to that point. Even if you start with a few days, a week, and build, it's like a streak that you'd see on social media. But for being offline. Track your days offline so you can see how far you've come and you can build that momentum. I have so much faith in you and your ability to leave social media successfully if you are wanting to. Like we talked about, no one can force you to do it. No one can make you do it. You yourself have to decide that the timing is right and be willing to take the action on the surefire feeling that's willing you to make a big change. I hope this episode was helpful for you. So next time you're feeling that the timing is right for you to leave social media, you'll know how to better set yourself up for success by 1, determining what type of quitter you are, either a cold turkey quitter or a weaner. 2, tell someone in order to keep yourself accountable or find a support system. And 3rd, to set a date to work toward hitting offline so you can build your momentum and prove to yourself slowly that you have what it takes. All right, time for our action step for today's episode. Leave a comment on this episode if you're watching on YouTube, letting me know if you're more of a cold turkey quitter or someone who needs more of a weaning process. And if you're listening on Spotify, you can answer the poll for this episode down below. And those of you on Apple Podcasts, you can send me an email at carly@carlyburr.com with your type of quitter. And I can't wait to hear from you. Keep listening to that nudge that you might be feeling to leave social media and capitalize when your time comes. If you found this episode helpful, please share it with a friend who maybe needs to hear this message right now in their life too. Thank you so much in advance. You are the absolute best. I hope you have an amazing week, and I will catch you next Monday.